Hello, I'm Helen and I'm a curator at the William Morris Society, which is based in William Morris's former home, Kelmscott House. And it's located here in Hammersmith. You might recognise Hammersmith Bridge in the background and of course the amazing River Thames, which we're going to learn all about today and how William Morris was so much inspired by it. And here we are at Kelmscott House, William Morris's former home, where he spent the last 18 years of his life facing his beloved River Thames. He actually died on the 3rd of October 1896 in his ground floor bedroom. And of course the River Thames flowed through Morris's life and work. He wrote about it in his poetry, in his prose, he took boat trips along it, and it featured in some of his best known patterns. And we're going to learn more about Morris's inspiration when we meet Adrian, the director of the Totally Thames Festival.
Helen.
Hello Adrian, lovely to see
Lovely
you.
to meet you too, lovely to meet you too. So here we are in Hammersmith Wall. I mean, what would it have been like when Morris was living here?
Well, Morris would definitely recognise this particular area. This stretch of riverside has changed very little, apart from the lack of elm trees, and now we have the cars replacing them. But just on this side, where Furnivall Gardens now is, was a slum area called Little Wapping, and that really prompted Morris to try and change things for the better, especially for working class people. And in 1883, a few years after he moved into Kelmscott House, he became a very committed socialist and spent many years of his life dedicated to the socialist cause.
He's a brilliant man.
Definitely, yeah.
Could you show me around the house?
Of course, we'll go into the William Morris Society premises based in the lower floors of Kelmscott House right now.
Brilliant, thank you. So, Helen, a visitor to Kelmscott House would see all this, right?
That's right. This was the main meeting hall of the Hammersmith Socialists, who met every Sunday evening here at Kelmscott House. And it's now the main display space of the William Morris Society, where you can see some beautiful designs by Morris, original drawings, wallpapers and textiles.
And there are some particular Thames-related designs. Are they downstairs?
That's right. You're going to have a look at those now.
Brilliant.
Yes. So I'm looking through some modern sample books. The Morris name lives on. It was bought in 1940 by Sandersons, who now have it as one of their ranges. And you can see here some of the fabrics that they now produce. Some of them are original Morris designs and some are inspired by William Morris. There's a huge number. You can buy paints, fabrics, wallpapers, still inspired by William Morris.
There's such a sort of diversity, and yet they're so recognisable in a way. I mean, if you were to look at those, you would kind of get somehow that they are a Morris design.
That's right.
What and how? I mean, how does that work? Is there something sort of particular in the way in which he was designing that really was different for the age?
Well, it was. I mean, when Morris first launched his wallpapers in the early 1860s, they were quite different to what people were used to back then. They used to either French wallpapers with big blossoms and blooms, very naturalistic, or like the work of Owen Jones and geometric patterns, where Morris came along and offered something very different, inspired by nature, but the patterns were meant to be like flat, like for wallpaper, and he said that every pattern should have a meaning behind it or a story behind it. And he was just inherently talented at pattern designing, you know, with no training. He was just inherently talented, and his patterns are the quality and have a timelessness about them. Just pure.
I heard as well, I don't know if this is right, but he wasn't one of his sort of print factories based on the River Wandle?
Yes, that's right. And one of his designs is called Wandle, named after what he said was his helpful stream.
His helpful stream, yes, how delightful.
Because in 1881, he founded a company, Merton Abbey. He went to move to Merton Abbey, and many of his designing and workshops were based at Merton Abbey, and he said he wanted to draw a new pattern based on the helpful River Wandle, which he used to wash out the excess dye in the fabric.
How brilliant!
And then lay it out to in the sun to dry naturally.
How brilliant! You can just sort of picture that, can't you? That is just fantastic. Wow, amazing.
The River Wandle supplied the Morris and Company factory at Merton Abbey, and its soft waters contained the special purity needed for dyeing the fabrics. The Wandle was also used in the washing of the cloth and to remove excess dye. Then the lengths of fabric were dried on the meadow near the workshops in fine weather. Therefore, both the River Wandle and the site at Merton Abbey provided ideal conditions for the manufacture of Morris's textiles. And this beautiful pattern, the Wandle, is Morris's largest repeating pattern and is certainly a fitting tribute in order to express his gratitude to that river.
Helen, William Morris was obviously a real Thames lover. He lived by the river, he rode on the river, and he wrote about the river as well, didn't he?
That's right. One of his best known novels is News from Nowhere, and it's a fictional account of a journey setting off here at Hammersmith up the river, and it's his vision of a future society, a utopian idea of how society should be, and it's a real socialist ideal.
So, Utopia on the Thames. That's exactly what we need at Totally Thames Festival.